Hello everybody. If you're watching this, you've almost certainly made it onto our new website. So congratulations for doing that, and above all, welcome. And we really do mean that. Welcome to you. Thank you for coming. It's lovely to have you with us. Whether you've come back or you're a new visitor, it doesn't matter, does it? We're all in one community. So congratulations. Thank you for coming and welcome. Do you know what? Since we've it's hard to believe, isn't it, that when we first announced our plans to launch a brand new website, we've just realised that it was a little over 2 years ago. A little over 2 years ago, we first announced that we're going to be we're going to be updating everything, bringing you an all singing, all dancing website that can do a lot more, will be built and set for the future. But it's so long. It's been so long in the coming, but at least now we are live. We are here, even if we are in the middle of a worldwide pandemic, and the theatre sector is on its knees at the moment. So it's funny. It has made us think back to the very beginning. And you know what? In the 13 years since we've been launched, we launched it at the end of 2007. One of the big questions we get asked, and we still get asked by those that obviously don't know, is why are you called Sardines? What's Sardines all about? And people do tend to fall into one of two camps. You either know straight away, or you haven't got a clue and you scratch your heads. And it's funny, isn't it? Some people sort of make an educated guess, like, is it because theatres are people packed in like sardines, which is actually quite ironic now, isn't it? Packed in like sardines. Social distancing wouldn't allow for that, would it? But yeah, it's not because people are packed in like sardines in an auditorium. In 1982, Michael Frayn wrote a play, and if you Google funniest farce ever written, this always comes up at the top, called Noise Is Off. Noise Is Off is the reason we are called Sardines, and if you go and see a production of Noise Is Off, it'll take you just 30 seconds to be introduced to this plate of little fish, and they keep coming and going throughout the whole production, and that's why we're called Sardines. But there's a play within a play in Noise Is Off. It's so funny. They're going through a very late night technical stroke dress rehearsal, which we've all done, haven't we, at 2 a.m. at some point in our lives. And they're about to tour a production across the whole of the United Kingdom, and this plate of sardines comes up. She keeps trying to eat it and she doesn't quite get to do it, and all sorts of mayhem and stuff goes wrong. If you haven't seen Noise Is Off, I recommend you add it to your bucket list straight away. You've got to see it. You've got to see it. It is so funny. I've been in a very fortunate position to have not only seen it half a dozen times. By the way, the very best performance I've ever been to was done 5 years ago in 2015 by an amateur, non-professional production performed by CDOS at the Bridewell Theatre in the City of London. Which is interesting, isn't it? Because we've seen lots of professional productions as well. And last year there was a very famous one at the Garrick Theatre, which was very good. But there's something about Noise Is Off that is synonymous with the amateur theatre sector. Not only have a lot of amateur societies perform Noise Is Off themselves, which is represents obviously the people that will know straight away, because if you've been in it or had anything to do with Noise Is Off, you know why we're called Sardines straight away. So yeah, a lot of companies, a lot of societies have performed Noise Is Off, and it's synonymous with the amateur theatre. The smaller the theatre, the better the reaction you get from the audience, the better you can produce the play. It doesn't belong in a big fancy theatre. It's funny, it doesn't quite work. The film with Michael Caine didn't really work. It doesn't work if you film a farce either. You've got to have an audience looking live at every single door. They know who's gone through that door, so they know who's might come out of that door, and they know when someone comes through that door, it's created a big problem. You have to have an audience seeing everything all at once, and in a film that cuts from one shot to another shot, you can't do that. and films don't work. Films haven't got a live audience in, and it's, again, I suppose it comes down to this getting theatre reopened again and getting social distancing a thing of the past, because until we can do that, we won't have that atmosphere again. It's a bit like watching theatre on television, televised performances. It's not the same. You need to be in the audience, in a packed auditorium. You've all got one collective situation. You're all universally watching a show all at the same time, and that's collectively what you own together as an audience. It's very interesting, very interesting. So yeah, the reason people either get it or end up scratching their heads is, of course, depends on whether they perform Noises Off. And it's as simple as that. Simple as that. Many have, which is why we thought it's such a great name for our magazine. We fell in love with it first of all. In the very first issue, actually, we interviewed Michael Frayn, who told us all about how he came up with Noises Off, how he produced it, how he developed it, the ideas behind it, what made him think of writing a farce in the first place. He told us everything, and we're going to put that on the website very soon, that interview. Of course, nowadays, Sardines is so much more than just a magazine for Greater London as it was launched 13 years ago. It was a magazine, just a magazine, very, very basic, just produced for societies in and around the London area. In 2011, just 4 years later, we went nationwide, and ever since then, for the last 9 years, we've been nationwide. We stayed quarterly, now we're bi-monthly, so we produce 6 a year instead of 4 a year printed issues, when we're not going through a worldwide pandemic, of course that is. You do need to register on the new website, but once you are registered, you don't need to log in every time you come back, because it'll recognise who you are. But Sardines is so much more than a magazine now. It's a portal. It houses a directory of societies all over the country now. It also lets societies upload all of their productions, all of their past productions, all of their future productions, all of their auditions, any reviews you can add to societies. You can even add yourself on a cast and crew basis in a production. So once you've registered, you can add yourself to cast and crew lists, link to productions, link to societies, and it goes on and on like that. Digital productions, digital versions of Sardines are now also available on the website, and if you subscribe to a digital version, we've introduced some really, really cheap digital only rates. £7.50 gets you 6 months access, but £12 gets you a year's access. That's £1 a month. It's absolutely ridiculous, £1 a month. We're going to also see if we can do some sort of voucher scheme soon for members of societies. But £1 a month to read Sardines and all the interviews we do with big West End producers. This brings me on to the second question we get asked a lot, because we always have famous people which are nearly always professionals. Oh my goodness, amateur theatre magazine, professionals. What are you doing mixing with the professional industry? Well, very easy, and that is the second question. Why do you always have professionals on your covers? Why do you do interviews with professionals? Why isn't it just amateurs? Because we want to emulate the professionals, don't we? We want to, as amateurs, like to be compared to a professional standard whenever possible. Don't we just love it when the curtain comes down at the end of an amateur production that we've done, that we've been in, that we've put our heart and soul into? We get changed, go into the dressing room, get changed, walk into the bar afterwards, and someone comes up to us and says, I'll buy you a drink, that could have been on in the West End, it was so professional, it was fantastic. So the biggest compliment they can give us is, it was so professional, that was like it was on in the West End, that could be in the West End. So if we love the fact that people compare us to professionals, why wouldn't we want to emulate the professionals? And to do that, we, Sardines, interview professional people. We get their take, their story of how they were born an amateur. Everyone is born an amateur, you can't help that, that's the default position. But the Ian McKellens, the Derek Jacobys of this world, the Maggie Smiths of this world, have all gone from that to being at the top of their game and the top of their professional game. Isn't it great that we can tap into these people? And do you know what else we find? The more successful the professional, the more successful the person has become, the more easy and at ease they are in talking about their amateur days before they joined the profession, let's say. It's very interesting, very interesting. Ian McKellen says for some fantastic. He compares himself to an amateur. When he used to be the patron of the Little Theatre Guild, he would address the Little Theatre Guild as "we amateurs," because amateur means lover of. That's all it means. It's from the French word to love, lover of. Amateur means lover of. We do it because we love it. Professionals do it because they love it, but they love it so much they want to do it for the rest of their lives, and that's all they want to do, so they make a living at it, they make their careers at it. Not that many professionals have done much for the last 6 months, of course, with this pandemic, but there we go. Who would want to be a professional at the moment? Not many, I would think. But anyway, there we go. It's just a little introduction to the website. Find your way around the website. The first thing you need to do is register if you're not already registered. We have automatically registered society contacts that we've bought from the old website to the new website. The data, that's what's caused all the time lapse. Unfortunately, it's getting the data to be recognised by the language of the new website, and that's caused the big problems. But it's been done now. We've got all the subscribers, we've transferred and given them automatic subscriptions. Digital subscriptions has been automatic. As I say, all the contacts from the societies have been given automatic access to the website, so they can update and upload their society details. If you want to add to a society's details, you need to be what's called a society admin or a society author. And you can apply, if you go to your society's webpage, either click the societies tab or the big search box at the top of the page, put in your society and see what comes up, look for it that way. Once you get into your society's page, you can apply to be an admin, which means the current admin will be sent an email that will say, John Smith has requested to be an admin of your society, accept or decline. If the admin knows you as one of the members of the society and he's very happy, and he or she is very happy for you to become another admin, brilliant, you can do that. And the more admins the better, because the more admins the more stuff you can get uploaded, and the more admins the more you can request sardines reviews, which means we come round and review, and you can also upload auditions and so on and so forth. Anyone can follow a society, which means you get sent a notification every time something gets added, or a comment gets added, or a production gets added, or an audition gets added, or a review gets added to a society's production. You can follow a society that way. There's so much going on. So register, have a look, subscribe to the digital issue if you can. It's very, very cheap. It's all on the website, so just have a little play around with it. And once again, welcome everybody, welcome, you're very welcome. Let's make Sardines the big umbrella for the whole of the UK's amateur theatre sector. It's lovely having Facebook, isn't it, and Twitter and things, and we publish everyone's Twitter accounts and all of that, all their social media platforms with their society stuff. But isn't it great to have a portal that is just designed specifically for amateur people, with amateur societies, with amateur members in mind only? Isn't that fantastic to have? So come aboard, please, and let's all get into this community together, and let's move on together. And if you want to send us an email, please do. The website is far from perfect at the moment. We are very aware of that. There's still things that need redesigning, things that need adding or taking away. We are aware of lots of them, but if you've got something you think you can help us with or add, please send an email to admin@sardinesmagazine.co.uk, or just press the contact button on the website and contact us that way. That'd be fine. Please bear with us while we get these little bugs ironed out for now, but if you can ignore those just for now, then have a little play around the website, have a little look round, and we hope that you enjoy what you see. There's even a place for you to post conversations, appeals, SOSs, whatever it might be, announcements. you can do that. You can start conversations. People can comment and do all sorts of things. We can have little strings going on. You can subscribe to those to be notified every time someone else adds a comment. All that kind of stuff going on, just like a social media setup. But there we go. So enjoy it for now. Any comments, please let us know. Let us know about it. Tell all your friends. Subscribe to the Digital Issue, and we'll see you soon. Okay, bye for now. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, you can subscribe to our. This is available on YouTube, I believe, so you can subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. But that's a whole different ball game. Subscribe to Sardines, and we'll see you soon. Bye for now.